The alarm blared through Cayley Station, red lights flashing in rhythm with the warning sound. Commander Ellie Norris rolled out of her sleep pod, her heart racing. She had been on the station for 3 years, and not once had the Level 1 alert sounded. "Minerva, report," she called out as she pulled on her uniform. The station's AI responded in its calm, feminine voice. "Unknown vessel detected approaching from Sector 7. Current speed exceeds any known propulsion system by factor of 23. No registration signal detected." Ellie rushed down the narrow corridor toward the command center. Cayley Station was the farthest human outpost, positioned at the edge of the Kuiper Belt. Its job was simple: watch for threats coming from deep space. In the year 2157, humanity had spread through the solar system, but hadn't yet ventured to other stars. The command center door slid open. 4 night shift crew members hunched over their stations, faces lit by blue screen light. "Show me," Ellie ordered. The main screen flickered. A small ship appeared, moving fast against the star field. Its design was sleek, unlike the bulky ships of Earth's fleet. But something about its lines, the way its hull curved, struck Ellie as strangely familiar. "Run it against all known ship designs," she said. Officer Ryan Diaz shook his head. "Already did. No matches in any database. But Commander, that's not the strangest part." "What is?" "It's slowing down. Going from near light speed to orbital velocity in minutes. That's impossible with our current technology." Ellie leaned forward. "Origin?" "Unknown. Came from the direction of Tau Ceti, but trajectory analysis is incomplete. The way it moves breaks our tracking algorithms." The ship on screen adjusted course slightly, and something cold settled in Ellie's stomach. "It's heading directly for Earth." "Yes, ma'am," said Diaz. "At current speed, it will reach Earth in under 6 hours." Ellie touched her communication band. "Get me Earth Command, Priority Alpha." Before anyone could respond, Minerva's voice filled the room. "Commander, new data available. Ship emissions show human material signatures." The room went silent. "Explain," Ellie said. "The hull composition contains titanium alloys consistent with Earth manufacturing. Design elements match human engineering principles, though significantly advanced." Lieutenant Samantha Kelly called from her station. "Commander, the ship has changed course. It's heading directly toward us now." "How soon?" 8 minutes until it reaches our position." Ellie's mind raced. Earth had enemies, mostly political rivals from Mars and the mining colonies near Jupiter. But none had technology like this. And if the ship was human, as Minerva suggested, who built it? And why keep it secret? "Sound general quarters. All personnel. To emergency stations. Weapon systems online." The crew moved quickly, the tension thick in the air. "Trying to establish communication," said Officer Diaz. No response on any standard channels. Ellie watched the mysterious ship grow larger on the screen. Its hull was midnight black, absorbing rather than reflecting light. No visible engines, yet it moved with impossible precision. 1 minute to intercept," Lieutenant Kelly announced. Still no response to hails. "It's matching our rotation," said Diaz. "It's going to dock." Ellie stared in disbelief. The station's security protocols made unauthorized docking impossible. Yet the small ship positioned itself perfectly alongside Cali's main airlock. "Security teams to airlock 1, Ellie ordered. Full armor and weapons ready." 6 armed guards surrounded Jack Bennett in the station's secure meeting room. He sat calmly at the metal table, his eyes following Ellie as she paced back and forth. "You bypassed our security systems, ignored all hailing attempts, and docked, without permission," Ellie said. "Give me one reason why I shouldn't lock you up right now." Jack smiled. "Because in about 3 months this station, Earth and every human settlement in the solar system will be destroyed unless you listen to me." Ellie stopped pacing. "That's quite a claim." "I know how this sounds." Jack leaned forward. "If I were in your position, I wouldn't believe me either." Lieutenant Kelly entered the room and handed Ellie a tablet. "His biometric scan results, Commander." Ellie looked at the screen and frowned. She glanced at Jack, then back at the data. "Something wrong?" Jack asked. According to this, you're 167 years old, Ellie said. Your cellular structure shows significant modifications, and you have neural implants unlike anything in our medical database. Jack nodded. All true. I was born in 2025 on Earth. I left on the colony ship Horizon in 2042. There was no colony ship launched in 2042, said Officer Diaz from his position by the door. Not in the official records, no, Jack agreed. The Horizon was a private venture. 150 people seeking to find a new world around Tau Ceti. The Earth governments of that time weren't exactly supportive of independent space colonies. Ellie set down the tablet. Even if that were true, Tau Ceti is over 12 light-years away. You couldn't have made it there and back in your lifetime. We couldn't have with the technology we left with, Jack said, but we weren't alone out there. The room grew quiet. You found aliens, Ellie said flatly. 3 different civilizations, actually, or what was left of them. Jack's expression darkened. The first was already dead when we found them. The second was dying. The third helped us before they too were wiped out. By what? We call them the Collectors, a species that systematically harvests emerging spacefaring civilizations. They take resources, technology, and specimens. Nothing survives except what they choose to preserve. Officer Diaz laughed. This sounds like a bad sci-fi movie. Jack didn't smile. I wish it were. The Collectors follow patterns. They monitor developing worlds, wait until they achieve certain technological benchmarks, then harvest them. Humanity has just crossed their threshold. Ellie's communication band buzzed. Commander, Earth Command on priority channel, Minerva, announced. Put them through. Admiral George Harris's stern face appeared on the room's display screen. Commander Norris, report on the intruder. Claims to be from a lost colony ship, sir. Claims to bring warning of an alien threat. The Admiral's expression hardened. Secure the individual and his vessel. A team is being dispatched to take custody. Estimated arrival at your station in 30 hours. Yes, sir. The screen went dark. Jack sighed. We don't have time for this. You'll have plenty of time in custody, Ellie said. Commander, please. At least look at my ship. The evidence is there. Ellie hesitated. Protocol said to lock him up and wait. But something in Jack's eyes, the urgency, the clarity of purpose, gave her pause. Lieutenant Kelly, Officer Diaz, come with me. The rest of you keep him here. Ellie walked to the door, then turned back. If your ship does anything unexpected, my people have orders to shoot you. Understood? Jack nodded. The airlock access. Code is 7394 Echo Zulu. The ship's interior was unlike anything Ellie had ever seen. The walls seemed to pulse with soft blue light. No visible control panels, no traditional engines. Just smooth surfaces that responded to touch. What is this? Material? Diaz asked, running his hand along a wall. Biomimetic alloy, Kelly said, checking her scanner. It's alive in a way. Ellie found what appeared to be the bridge, a single chair surrounded by hovering displays. As she approached, the screens lit up, showing star maps, technical, diagrams, and video recordings. One recording caught her eye. It showed a massive ship, angular and dark, approaching a green planet. Smaller ships swarmed from it like insects. The planet's surface began to glow as the ships touched down. Minerva, begin full analysis of this vessel, Ellie said quietly. Priority level, absolute. She turned to her officers. Get me everything you can from these systems. You believe him? Kelly asked. Ellie stared at the recording of the planet being harvested. I don't know, but I think we need to find out. The view switched to the airlock camera. The ship's hull seemed to shimmer slightly, as if not entirely solid. Minerva, scan life signs. One human life form detected. Male. Unusual biological readings. The ship's airlock opened, connecting smoothly to the station despite incompatible systems. The inner door of the mysterious vessel slid open, revealing a tall figure in a form-fitting suit. A man stepped out, removing his helmet to reveal tousled brown hair and a face that looked about 35 years old. He smiled at the camera. "My name is Jack Bennett," he said in perfect, unaccented English. "And we don't have much time." The United Solar Government's Emergency Council chamber buzzed with tense voices. Located deep beneath New Geneva, the Oval Room held 30 people seated around a massive table. At the head sat President Laura Vaughn, her face grave as she watched the recordings from Jack's ship for the third time. "Play it again," she said. The wall screen showed the collector ship harvesting the alien world. No one spoke as the footage ended. Admiral Peter Collins, head of Earth Defense Forces, stood up. "Madam President, whether this man's story is true or not, the technology on his ship is real. The propulsion system alone is beyond anything we've developed." "That doesn't mean aliens are coming to destroy us," said Dr. Susan Martinez. The xenobiologist pushed her glasses up her nose. "This could be an elaborate hoax, a psychological attack. A hoax with a ship that breaks the laws of physics, as we understand them?" Admiral Collins asked. Dr. Martinez shrugged. "Perhaps a rival faction from Mars or Europa. They've been pushing their own space programs for decades." President Vaughn raised her hand for silence. "What about the man himself? This Jack Bennett?" And the holographic face of Minerva appeared above the table. "Genetic testing confirms human origin, but with extensive modifications. His cellular structure shows age reversal procedures, enhanced immune system, and neural pathways designed to interface with technology. No match in any Earth database for his original DNA." "See?" Dr. Martinez pointed at the projection. "He could be a bioengineered weapon, a human shell with programmed memories and goals." On Kali Station, engineer Nathan Wright carefully removed a panel from Jack's ship. Unlike Earth ships with their mess of wires and circuits, this vessel's systems were arranged in beautiful patterns almost like art. "This isn't just advanced," he whispered. "It's elegant." Jack watched from nearby, guarded by 2 officers. "The Vega designed it. They believed technology should be beautiful and intuitive." "The Vega? One of the alien species you mentioned?" Jack nodded. "They were engineers, artists. They helped us rebuild the horizon after we found their colony in ruins." Nathan ran a scanner over the exposed systems. "These energy readings don't make sense. What powers this ship?" "We call it zero-point extraction. It draws energy from the quantum field itself." Nathan looked up, his eyes wide. "That's theoretical. We've barely managed to demonstrate it works in lab conditions." "The Vega had been using it for 10,000 years. Jack's voice grew quiet. "Before the collectors found them. On Earth, Grace Lopez, communications specialist, studied the language patterns in Jack's speech. Her small office in the government complex was filled with screens displaying voice analysis data. "He's telling the truth," she told Admiral Collins. "At least he believes he's telling the truth. Voice stress analysis shows consistency across all statements." The Admiral frowned. "Could he have been conditioned?" "Possibly, but his speech patterns match Earth Standard English from the early 21st century, with slight variations consistent with isolated development. It supports his colony ship story." Back in the council chamber, the debate continued. "We can't ignore this warning," Admiral Collins insisted. "If there's even a small chance he's right, we need to prepare." "And cause a system-wide panic?" Senator Alan Bradley asked. The thin man stood up. "The economic impact alone would be devastating. Stock markets would crash. The Mars colonies would use it as an excuse to declare independence." President Vaughn studied the faces around her. "We need more information." "There is no more time," Admiral Collins said. "If Bennett is right, we have less than 3 months." The president made her decision. "We prepare quietly. Increase military readiness under the guise of standard exercises. Get our best scientists working with this technology. But no public announcements yet." "And Bennett?" Dr. Martinez asked. Nathan sat cross-legged on the floor of Jack's ship, surrounded by holographic displays. After a week of study, Earth Command had given him limited access to work directly with the vessel's systems. 2 guards watched from nearby, weapons ready. "Show me the star maps again," Nathan said. The air in front of him filled with stars, planets, and travel routes marked in glowing blue lines. Jack pointed to a small green dot. That's where the horizon settled. We call it New Hope. Nathan zoomed in, studying the planet. Looks Earth-like. It is. Good gravity, breathable air, edible plants. We got lucky. Jack's face softened. My wife Kate and daughter Lily are there. Lily was born on New Hope. She's never seen Earth. Why didn't you bring them with you? Too dangerous. The journey back was considered a suicide mission. Jack's voice dropped lower. I volunteered because I had experience with collector technology. On Earth, Dr. Susan Martinez examined tissue samples from Jack under a quantum microscope. The cellular structure showed bizarre patterns she had never seen before. These modifications aren't random, she told her assistant. They're designed to resist radiation types not found on Earth. She checked another reading and frowned. And these neural implants, they're designed to interface with something specific. Her assistant looked up. The ship? No. Susan enlarged the image. Something else. Something we haven't seen yet. In the high-security wing of the Earth Defense Headquarters, Grace Lopez sat with Admiral Collins, showing him footage from Jack's ship. This is a recording of a collector harvest operation, she explained. Jack says it was taken by Horizon Scouts 5 years ago. The screen showed massive ships surrounding a blue-green planet. Smaller vessels descended to the surface. Wherever they touched down, the land changed color as if being drained. They take everything, Grace said. Resources, technology, biological samples. The planet is left a barren rock. Admiral Collins studied the footage. How many worlds have they taken? According to Jack's data, at least 17 in our galactic neighborhood in the past 10,000 years. And they're coming here next? Grace nodded. Jack's ship detected their long-range scans reaching our system about 6 months ago. That's why he came back, to warn us. The Admiral rubbed his face. Do we have any way to fight these things? That's the thing, Grace said, excitement in her voice. Jack's ship contains defensive technology developed by combining human ingenuity with knowledge from 3 alien civilizations. It might give us a chance. In his private mansion, Senator Bradley spoke to a group of wealthy business leaders. This man Bennett is clearly a fraud, he told them. But his technology is real and valuable. My contacts in security tell me it could revolutionize energy production, space travel, even medicine. A woman in an expensive suit raised her hand. What does the government plan to do with it? Military applications, of course. Bradley smiled. But imagine if private industry had access first. The profit potential is unlimited. So what are you suggesting? Asked a gray-haired man. Support my bill to classify this as industrial technology, not military. Put it under civilian control, our control. Back on Cali Station, Ellie received an urgent message from Minerva. Commander, unusual radiation detected at the edge of the solar system. Pattern matches data from Jack Bennett's records. Ellie's heart raced. Show me. The screen displayed a faint energy signature near Pluto, almost invisible but distinctive in its pattern. Ellie called Jack to the command center. Is this what I think it is? Jack studied the reading, his face pale. Collector Scout probe. They always send them first to map defenses. How much time do we have? Less than I thought. Jack looked at Ellie, fear in his eyes. Maybe 6 weeks, not 3 months. Ellie opened a secure channel to Earth Command. This is Commander Norris, Priority Alpha. Please inform President Vaughn. We have confirmation of Bennett's claims. I repeat, confirmation of hostile contact imminent. As she spoke, more energy signatures appeared on the screen, blinking into existence one after another. Jack stared at the growing number of signals. They've never sent this many scouts before. What does that mean? Ellie asked. It means they're not just coming to harvest. Jack's voice was barely a whisper. They're coming to eradicate. D. Keep him isolated, but listen to what he has to say. The president looked around the table. This stays in this room. Level 10 classification. As the meeting ended, Senator Bradley lingered behind. When everyone had left, he touched a device on his wrist. A small hologram appeared showing a strange symbol, The visitor has arrived as predicted, he whispered to the symbol. Plans are proceeding. Earth remains unaware. The symbol pulsed once, then vanished. Back on Cayley Station, Jack sat alone in his quarters, eyes closed. A small implant behind. His ear glowed faintly. Message sent, he murmured. Horizon colony alerted. Phase 1 complete. President Vaughn stared at the holographic display showing the scout probes spreading throughout the outer solar system. The war room beneath New Geneva hummed with activity as military officers rushed between stations. How long until they reach Earth? She asked. Admiral Collins checked his datapad. At current speed, 4 weeks, but they're just scouts. The main fleet will be behind them. Can we shoot them down? We're trying, Collins said, but they move erratically. Traditional. Targeting systems can't lock on. The door opened and Jack entered, flanked by Ellie and Nathan. Guards followed close behind. Mr. Bennett, President Vaughn said. Your warning appears to be accurate. Jack nodded grimly. Madam President, we need to move faster. Those scouts are mapping our defenses, our population centers, everything worth taking. We've mobilized the fleet, Admiral Collins said. Every ship with weapons capability is being prepared. Jack shook his head. It won't be enough. Not against their harvesters. Then, what do you suggest? The President asked. Let me modify your weapons systems with Vega technology, and we need to build a resonance shield around Earth. Dr. Martinez stepped forward. We can't just hand over control of our defense systems to him. You don't have a choice, Jack said flatly. The collectors have done this hundreds of times. They perfect their harvest with each world they take. President Vaughn looked around the room, then made her decision. Do it. Give him whatever he needs. On Mars Colony Alpha, strange power fluctuations affected communications systems. Chief, Engineer Bill Foster ran diagnostics for the 5th time. Something's interfering with our relay satellites, he told the colony governor. All channels to Earth experience random drops. Solar flares? The governor asked. No, it's targeted, and it follows patterns. Bill showed his screen. Like it's testing our systems, looking for weaknesses. Back on Earth, Nathan and Jack worked with a team of engineers to modify defense satellites. They floated in space, their suits connected to the satellite by tethers. The power coupling goes here, Jack said, pointing to a section of the satellite. It will amplify your laser weapons tenfold. Nathan installed the small device Jack had designed. Will this really be enough? No, Jack said honestly, but it might slow them down. In his private office, Senator Bradley received an encrypted message. The symbol he had contacted earlier appeared on his screen. Phase 2 begins, a distorted voice said. Disable the defense grid in Sector 7 at the appointed time. And my reward? Bradley asked. As agreed. You will rule what remains of Earth as our representative. Your bloodline will be preserved in our specimen collection. Bradley smiled. Send me the exact time. Grace Lopez worked late in her office analyzing communication patterns from the scout probes. Something caught her eye. A faint signal being transmitted from Earth to the probes. That can't be right, she muttered. She traced the signal, running it through decryption algorithms. When the source appeared on her screen, her blood ran cold. Senator Bradley's office, she whispered. He's communicating with them. She quickly copied the data and sent an encrypted message to Admiral Collins. Meanwhile, Jack showed Ellie a small device in his quarters. This is why I really came back, he said. The object was a small cylinder that pulsed with blue light. What is it? Ellie asked. The Proxima called it a phase disruptor. It's the only weapon we've found that can damage a collector harvester ship. Jack looked at her intently. But it has to be deployed from inside their command vessel. Ellie stared at him. That's a suicide mission. Yes. Jack's voice was quiet. That was always the plan. Before Ellie could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Emergency alert, Minerva announced. Flames erupted from the Mars colony's main dome. Emergency sirens wailed as people rushed to evacuation ships. The collector scout vessel hovered above, its dark form blocking the sun. On Earth, military commanders watch the live feed in horror. "We need to send help," Admiral Collins said. "No," Jack replied firmly. "That's what they want. They're baiting us to waste resources." "Those are our people dying," Collins shouted. "And more will die if we don't focus on the main threat," Jack answered. His eyes were sad but determined. "The scout is gathering data. The harvesters are coming next." President Vaughn stepped between them. "Admiral, focus on Earth's defense. Grid, we'll send automated rescue ships to Mars, but no military vessels." The Admiral nodded reluctantly. In her small office, Grace showed Ellie the evidence of Senator Bradley's communications with the collectors. "He's been sending them our defense plans, population data, resource locations," Grace said. "He's helping them plan their harvest." Ellie's face hardened. "We need to arrest him immediately." "We can't," Grace said. "He's in a secure government bunker with 20 other officials. If we move against him now, he'll know we've discovered his treachery." "Then what do we do?" "Feed him false information. Let him think he's still helping them, but use it against the collectors." Nathan worked with Jack's ship in a massive hangar beneath the Rocky Mountains. Engineers swarmed around it, studying its systems, trying to replicate its technology. "We've managed to adapt the shield systems," Nathan told Jack as he entered. 3 Earth ships now have partial protection against collector weapons. Jack inspected their work. "Good. But the ships need to be faster too." "We're working on it." Nathan hesitated. "Jack, I need to ask you something. The neural implants in your head, what are they really for?" Jack touched the back of his neck. "They connect me to the phase disruptor. It's keyed to my specific brainwave patterns." "So no one else can use it?" "No one from Earth, no. The Proxima designed it that way as a safeguard." Before Nathan could ask more questions, alarms blared. Minerva's voice came over the speakers. "Alert. Large objects detected entering solar system. 7 major vessels and approximately 30 smaller craft." Everyone rushed to the command center. The main screen showed the collector fleet moving steadily toward Earth. The ships were massive, angular structures that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "How long?" President Vaughn asked. "At current speed. 5 days until they reach Earth orbit," an officer replied. Jack studied the screen. "The large one in the center is the command vessel. That's our target." "Our ships aren't ready," Admiral Collins said. "We need more time." "There is no more time," Jack answered. "We need to launch now and intercept them near Jupiter. The gas giant's magnetic field will give us a slight advantage." President Vaughn made the call. "Launch all modified ships. Full military response authorized." In his bunker, Senator Bradley received a message from Admiral Collins detailing Earth's defense plan. Bradley quickly forwarded it to his collector contacts, not realizing it was carefully crafted misinformation. 3 Earth battleships, hastily modified with Jack's technology, launched from secret bases. Each carried advanced weapons and shields, based on alien designs. Jack stood on the bridge of the lead ship, the UNS Defender, with Ellie as mission commander. "All systems online," the pilot reported. "Course set for Jupiter intercept." Ellie looked at Jack. "Is this really going to work?" "The modifications will help," he said. "But our real advantage is surprise. The collectors don't expect resistance. No species has ever fought back effectively." "Until now," Ellie said. Jack nodded. "Until now." The Earth ships accelerated to speeds previously thought impossible, their new engines glowing with strange, blue energy. As they approached Jupiter, the collector fleet came into visual range. "My God," Ellie whispered. The enemy ships were even larger than they appeared on sensors, the smallest dwarfing Earth's largest vessel. "Weapons range in 30 seconds, the tactical officer announced. Jack closed his eyes briefly, thinking of his family on New Hope. Then he turned to Ellie. "Remember, we only need to disable the command ship long enough for me to board it with the phase disruptor." Ellie nodded, her face set with determination. "All ships battle formation. Prepare to engage." The Earth vessels spread out, their new shields humming with power as they closed in on humanity's greatest threat. "Collector, scout ship detected entering Mars orbit," Defense stations under attack. They rushed to the command center. On the main screen, a small black ship with spidery extensions fired energy beams at Mars Defense Station Alpha. The station's shields flickered and failed. "They're testing us," Jack said, his face grim. "The real attack is coming sooner than we thought." The Mars station exploded in a flash of light. Everyone in the command center went silent. "Get me every ship we have," President Vaughn said, her voice steady despite her pale face. "And implement Bennett's modifications now. We're out of time." Space lit up with energy beams as the battle began. The 3 Earth ships darted between the much larger collector vessels, firing their modified weapons. The UNS Defender shook with each hit it took. "Shields at 70%, the tactical officer called out. Ellie gripped her command chair. "Keep moving. Don't give them a stable target." The collector ships moved with surprising grace for their size. Their weapons lashed out, barely missing the human vessels. "They're learning our patterns," Jack said. "We need to be unpredictable." Chew. The main screen, one of Earth's ships, the UNS Valiant, took a direct hit. Its shields flared blue, then failed. "Valiant is hit," the communications officer reported. "They've lost engine control." Before anyone could respond, 3 collector ships surrounded the damaged vessel. Beams of pale green light locked onto the Valiant, pulling it toward the largest harvester. "Can we help them?" Ellie asked. Jack shook his head. "Not without losing our own ship." They watched in silence as the Valiant was drawn into a massive opening in the harvester's side. The Earthship's distress signals went silent. "Focus on the mission," Jack said quietly. "We need to reach the command vessel." The Defender and the remaining Earthship, UNS Courage, adjusted course, heading directly for the center of the collector fleet. Their new engines pushed beyond safe limits, leaving streaks of blue fire behind them. On Earth, in the underground command center, President Vaughn watched the battle through delayed transmissions. "We're losing," Admiral Collins said grimly. Grace Lopez hurried into the room. "Madam President, I have new information. Senator Bradley has accessed the defense mainframe. He's trying to lower Earth's atmospheric shields." "Stop him," the president ordered. "We can't reach him. He's locked himself in the system control room." Nathan, who had been monitoring Jack's ship systems remotely, stood up. "I can get in. There's a maintenance tunnel that bypasses security." "Go," President Vaughn said. "Take whatever security personnel you need." Back in space, the battle grew desperate. The Courage took heavy damage. Its hull breached in multiple places. "We'll cover you," Captain Frank Rivera of the Courage called. Over the comm. "Get Bennett to that command ship." "Frank, you need to retreat," Ellie urged. "Negative. If we retreat, they'll focus everything on you." The captain's voice was calm. "Make it count, Commander." The Courage accelerated, placing itself between the Defender and 4 approaching collector vessels. It fired all weapons, drawing their attention. Ellie watched helplessly as the brave ship fought its final battle. "Set course for the command vessel. Maximum speed." The Defender shot forward, aiming for a massive ship at the center of the collector fleet. Unlike the others, this vessel was smooth and rounded with pulsing lights running along its surface. "Their defenses are stronger here," Jack said. "We'll only get one chance." The Defender rocked violently as energy blasts struck its shields. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. "Shields failing," the tactical officer reported. "Hull breach on deck 3. "Get us closer," Jack said to the pilot. "I need to be within 100 meters to launch." Ellie looked at him. "Launch what?" "Me." Jack held up a small device. "The shuttle bay is prepared. I'll take a 1-person craft directly to their hull." "That's suicide," Ellie said. "It always was." Jack's eyes were determined. "The phase disruptor has to be placed inside their command center." Another hit rocked the ship. Sparks flew from a nearby console. "Engine 2 is down," the engineer called. "We can't take much more." Jack stood. "This is our only chance, Ellie. If they take Earth, humanity is finished." On Earth, Nathan crawled through a narrow maintenance tunnel. 2 security officers followed him. They emerged in a small room filled with humming equipment. Through a Glass panel. They could see Senator Bradley working at a control station. He's disabling the orbital defenses, Nathan whispered. We have to stop him now. Jack's small shuttle shot toward the collector command ship. Enemy weapons tracked him, energy beams cutting through space around him. He rolled and twisted the craft, moving in unpredictable patterns just as the Vega had taught him. Approaching. Target, he told the Defender over the comm. Find me a weak point. On the Defender's bridge, Ellie and her crew scanned the massive alien vessel. There, said the science officer, a section near what appears to be their propulsion system. The energy field is thinner there. Got it, Jack replied. He adjusted course, diving toward the spot. Inside the command center on Earth, Nathan and the security team burst into the control room. Senator Bradley turned, his eyes glowing with an unnatural light. You're too late, Bradley said, his voice oddly flat. The harvesters will feed. The security officers aimed their weapons, but Nathan stepped forward. He's being controlled, he said. Don't shoot. Nathan lunged forward, grabbing the small device on Bradley's neck. The senator screamed and tried to fight him off. One of the officers joined the struggle, helping Nathan pin Bradley down. With a sharp tug, Nathan ripped the device free. Bradley collapsed, blood trickling from where the device had been attached. The small object pulsed in Nathan's hand, then crumbled to dust. Get the medical team, Nathan ordered, and restore the defense systems. Jack's shuttle reached the command ship's hull. He fired specialized charges that burned through the outer layer, creating a small opening. Warning lights flashed in his craft as the hull began to buckle. Atmosphere venting, the shuttle's computer announced. Structural failure imminent. Jack pulled on a spacesuit and grabbed the phase disruptor. Going EVA, he told the Defender. If this works, the command ship will be disabled for approximately 30 minutes. We'll be waiting to pick you up, Ellie said, though they both knew it was a lie. Jack pushed through the opening into the collector ship. The interior was unlike anything human eyes had seen before. Organic curves mixed with geometric precision, pulsing with strange energy. He floated through corridors that seemed to shift and change as he watched. On the Defender, alarm sirens blared. Multiple collector ships approaching, the tactical officer warned. They figured out what we're doing. Hold position, Ellie ordered. We don't leave without Jack. Inside the alien vessel, Jack followed the energy readings on his suit's display. The phase disruptor grew warmer in his hands, resonating with the ship's systems. He reached a large chamber filled with swirling light patterns. At its center stood a crystalline structure that pulsed with power. Found the command core, he reported, his voice strained. Jack moved to the crystal, attaching the phase disruptor to its base. As he worked, he felt something probing his mind. Cold, alien thoughts trying to understand him. They know I'm here, he gasped. The walls of the chamber began to shift, forming appendages that reached for him. Jack finished setting the device and activated it. Blue light spread from the disruptor into the crystal. Device active, he said. Get out of here, Ellie. Now. On the Defender, Ellie watched as energy fluctuations rippled across the collector fleet. All ships are losing power, the science officer reported. Whatever he did, it's working. Get us out of here, Ellie ordered, her voice catching. Maximum speed back to Earth. The Defender turned and accelerated away from the disabled fleet. Behind them, the command ship drifted, its lights flickering. Inside the ship, Jack sat with his back against the crystal, blood seeping from his nose and ears. The phase disruptor had connected fully with his neural implants, using his own life force to power the disruption. With trembling hands, he activated his final message. Kate Lily, I did it. Earth is safe for now. He coughed, tasting blood. Ellie, the coordinates for New Hope are in my ship's database. Find our colony. They'll help Earth prepare. His vision darkened as the alien presence in his mind grew stronger. With his last strength, Jack pressed a final button on his suit. Self-destruct sequence activated, the computerized voice announced. Jack closed his eyes. For humanity, he whispered. The explosion tore through the command ship's core, magnifying the disruptor's effect. Throughout the collector fleet, systems failed catastrophically as the command signal was lost. The Defender raced back to Earth, carrying the knowledge and technology Jack had sacrificed everything to deliver. 6 months later, Ellie stood on the bridge of a new ship built with combined human and alien technology. On its side, the name USS Jack Bennett gleamed in fresh paint. "Set course for New Hope," she ordered. "It's time humanity stood together." The ship's engines powered up, glowing with the same blue energy as Jack's original vessel. As they accelerated, past the moon, Ellie looked at the stars ahead. "This time," she said quietly, "we're ready for them." As the security officers prepared to break in, Nathan noticed something on Bradley's neck. A small device pulsing with the same light pattern as the collector ships. "Wait," he said. "He's being controlled." In space, Jack prepared to board his small craft. He looked at Ellie one last time. "If I succeed, get back to Earth immediately. The disruption will only last 30 minutes. Ellie gripped his arm. "We'll be waiting." Jack nodded, then sealed his helmet. "For humanity," he said softly and stepped into the shuttle.